welcome. We're excited for this mini session of the North America International Fair to introduce to you Victoria and Daniel. Victoria is with MacEwan and Daniel is with EHL, and they will talk a little bit today about the university experience abroad. So what is it like to study and get your degree from an international university? So Daniel and Victoria will start the presentation, and you guys can introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the experience and your institutions, and give wise words of wisdom for everyone.
Awesome. Thank you for having me today.
So if you want to screenshot their information, you can screenshot it there. But Daniel and Victoria, take it away.
Thank you. I'm just going to jump in really quick here before we get started. I'm not sure what everybody can see on their screen, but as we know, technology loves to cooperate at the worst and best of times. So I'm having some camera issues. You can see what I look like based on the photo there. I may be able to get my camera going again during the session, but if not, I apologize for the black screen, and I hope that doesn't interfere with our ability to connect with the audience today. So Daniel, maybe you can start with your introduction.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Victoria. So as the picture shows, and sorry about my voice, I've been talking so much. I haven't talked this much in a year and a half. I actually did school visits today. But my name is Daniel Flores. I'm the Senior Recruitment Officer for EHL. I'm actually based out of Napa Valley, and my territory is the left half of the US and left half of Canada. And I've been in the education field for about 11 years, and I love helping people get information about school. So that's a little bit about my background. Victoria, want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. Thanks, Daniel. As you can see from the previous screen, my name is Victoria Rissling. I am an international student recruitment specialist at MacEwan University. We are located in Edmonton, Alberta, so quite a bit more north than Daniel's location, but I am responsible for majority of our recruitment regions, and we are really looking and hoping to have more students from south of Canada and across Canada join our campus.
Awesome. But so we wanted to talk about what the college experience is like, and also what the student life is like. And first piece is it's pretty dang amazing. Being in college, I always say it's like the best 3 to 5 years of your life. Think about the people, the lifelong connections that you're going to make, what you're going to be studying. If you're passionate about what you're studying, every day is fun. I always say when you love what you do, it's not work. So when you love what you're studying, it's not work, because you know at some point in your life you're going to be applying this. So student life is a very important part of your college experience. It's also diverse. When you go to international schools, for instance, you may be meeting people from all over the world. So if you wanted that chance to visit certain countries, well, you may be studying with somebody who's from that specific country. So it's a great opportunity to build your friend network and then also be part of alumni networks. I'll say one more piece, and weekend travel. Being in Europe, for instance, EHL, we have campuses in Switzerland and in Singapore. In a 3-hour flight from Geneva, Switzerland, you are in 36 different countries, not cities, states, provinces, countries. So it's a great experience to do weekend travel. In Singapore, you are a 3-hour flight from 17 countries. So it's a great opportunity for you to get experience into the Asian market. Victoria, if you wanted to add something on internships.
Absolutely. So one of the important things to note is that work experience comes in a variety of different formats. So internships, cooperative education, otherwise known as co-op, field placements, practicums, these are all different variations of hands-on learning opportunities. And as a student, what that enables you to do is to take the knowledge that you've learned in a classroom and apply that theoretical knowledge to the real world. So it's a really great way for you to demonstrate to future or prospective employers that you have the ability to apply what you've learned in school to your future career. At MacEwan and at EHL, there are a number of different internship opportunities for students to participate in. And this is just one of the great things that you may not experience at another institution. They can be built into your program directly, or they can be something that you seek out on your own as an individual student.
Exactly. And also something to consider is, are internships paid or are they not? Are internships embedded in the program or in the school that you're going to? Because if you're looking to get a job when you graduate, having internship experience nowadays is crucial. So definitely be picky when looking at schools. And then I always say quality relationships versus quantity. When you get to college, you're most likely going to be making lifelong friendships. So something else to look forward to. So we'll go ahead and go to the next slide. This really is an embodiment of the EHL student life. Uh, on campus, we have over 120 different nationalities. So this is a pure international university. People travel all over the dang place. Being in Europe or being in Asia, you have a lot of accessibility. Um, One thing that's unique about us is we also wear suit and ties. Uh, it sounds weird, but at the same token, it creates a completely different campus atmosphere. We want to teach you how to present yourself from day one. Because if you've ever gone into a job interview or you've never tied a tie before, walked in heels before, you're doing that from day one, prepping you for the real world. And it is a fun experience. You obviously are going to be taking a little bit of cooking classes, some cleaning classes, and then you take business courses. So it's very fast paced, but very fun. Everything that we do is group work. But these pictures really represent a small taste of what the EHL student life is like. Sorry if you want to talk about McEwen's.
Sure. Thanks, Christy. So this is a small sample of what student life is like at MacEwan University. If you look at the top left, you can see students gathering in our on-campus residence. This is an apartment-style living complex that really enables you to have individual freedom, but to also network and connect with students from around the world. Our residence facility on campus promotes socialization through planned and scheduled events on a weekly basis. And they also have things that can benefit you through your academic experience, such as quiet study rooms. As you look through the photos, you can see a diverse range of activities that are happening on campus, whether that be guest speakers in a classroom to games in the cafeteria. There are always things happening for you to engage and participate in. We've truly tried to offer a student-centered learning experience at MacEwan, which means we are really focused on you as an individual. In the bottom right, you can see something that is quite near and dear to my heart. This is our MacEwan University Sustainability Project, where we have actually created a bee colony on the roof of the university. Now, living in Northern Canada, you might not realize that this is possible, but part of the bee's life cycle is to go dormant during the winter. So they're really active during the spring and summer months and into the fall. Then we actually harvest the honey and sell it with the profits benefiting the Students Association at MacEwan. And it's a really great way to give back to the local environment as well, because the honeybee population is it is threatened, as many of you may know. So we're creating a safe space for these bees to thrive and populate. MacEwan has a number, Christy. MacEwan has a number of different student clubs that you can get involved in as well, whether that be academic focused or extracurricular focused. So whether your interests rely on or lay in sports and athletics, or even the Cheese Appreciation Club, there is something for everyone on MacEwan's campus.
Now, I can talk a little bit about student services offered. You always want to look at the difference between a private school and a public school. When you pay for private school education, you're really paying for the services and the one-on-one attention. So usually if you were to do a degree abroad, which means you're going to do it in a foreign country, there's usually a department that helps you get your visa, because you need to be there on a specific visa. So that makes the process a lot easier for you. You're also going to look at career and internship offices, because at some point there may be internships embedded in your program. So you're going to need to see what networks they have, so that way you can start reaching out to recruiters. Or when you are in your final year and you're starting to look for full-time jobs, you want somebody to go to see, where are our alumni working, what industries, what companies, how can I get connected, so that way I can potentially get a job through them. Health services is also something very important that most campuses offer as well. Counseling, we've probably needed that for a long time, but especially over COVID, you needed some people to talk to. That is not going to go anywhere or go away anytime soon. So most universities offer that, in addition to, once again, internships being a part of that. Victoria, if you want to expand on the rest.
Absolutely. So when you talk about alumni, this can be a very wide-reaching subject area. So students may want to talk to alumni about the programs that they studied and the opportunities that they gained after graduation from that program. My perspective on alumni is that my university experience was so good that I actually ended up applying for a job at the university that I went to. So I'm a proud alumni of MacEwan University, having completed my Bachelor of Arts as well as a diploma in public relations from the university. And that ended me in international student recruitment. Now, while that sounds like just a general career path, I cannot imagine doing my job for any other post-secondary institution. The student experience that I had, in addition to academic experience I had at MacEwan, made me recognize that the institution truly was special. And while our alumni office isn't doing things like annual conferences and events like other institutions, it is still a close-knit community that offers support for graduates and future students. So for me, my overall experience at MacEwan really was what wanted me to be an involved alumni. And that turns out that I've been able to do that through a career. When we talk about dorms, I did briefly mention that MacEwan has apartment style living on our campus. Now, there are tons of different opportunities for accommodations. Some students choose to do homestays where they are staying with a local family in their country, whereas other students choose to live on their own. And then our residents included in most university campuses. So ours happens to be right on our campus. Maybe I'll let Daniel fill in where EHL has their dormitories set up. But as far as food and beverage go, MacEwan has a wide range of food service options that cover all dietary restrictions and options. So whether you're craving something super healthy or you need that salty treat, we have those things available on our campus, and they are available and accessible through meal plans for students or just for pay as you go. So anybody can walk in and purchase things at any given time from the food vendors across campus.
Yeah, and then I'll add, as far as EHL dorms, we have 2 brand new apartment buildings, 3 brand new dorms. Everything is environmentally sustainable in our Lausanne campus. So you can either do, what we recommend in the first 6 months is that you dorm with someone. So that way you start to build relationships, because within the hospitality industry, that's what it's all about. Outside of that, after your first 6 months, you go on internship worldwide. And then when you come back from internship, you can decide, hey, I want a single room, or I want to be in a shared 4-bedroom apartment, which we call neighborhood, or you can rent out a flat in the city center. So there are definitely different options. F&B, we are the first and only school with a Michelin star training restaurant. So, I mean, if you're a foodie, this is a beautiful place to be. Even our cafeteria food is students cooking steak, shrimp in front of you, or making and tossing pasta in front of you. So once again, this is another part of the university experience. We'll go to the next slide. So this, when we talk about how will I learn and what will I learn, this is important. We all have different learning styles. Think about, do I like sitting in a class and memorizing, taking notes, or do I do better by using my hands? Because if you do better by using your hands, that's called application-based theory, which means I could be your professor, I can teach you something, but for it to stick with you, you actually need to apply it in case studies or through internships or through group work. So when you talk to schools, ask them, do you have application-based theory, or are you more theoretical, research-based? I say suit and tie or not, because it's about, do you want to dress up or do you not care about that? Because this also helps you narrow down your search. Internships or not, do you want internship experiences? Is that embedded in your curriculum, or is that something you can do on the side if you want? Once again, realistically, for the job market today, it is hyper competitive. So the more experience you have under your belt by the time you graduate from college, the better off you are. And once again, group work or not, do you like working with people? Is that important to you? Make sure you are in a school that offers the ability for you to do that and also build those relationships. And Victoria, if you want to add a little bit more on for the rest.
Yeah, I think you've done a great job covering this, Daniel. I think what's important for students to know is that your experience is going to be what you make of it. Most institutions will offer different opportunities for you to really channel the learning style that works best for you. So, for example, if you know that working in a group style setting is going to be most beneficial to you, we do have certain class sections that will promote more group work over individual study. When you look at things like becoming a global thinker, this is really part of the campus initiative for globalization. So whether that's joining a student club like Model UN or Global Shapers, or looking at, just what current faculty are doing in terms of their attempts to be more global in the institution's approach to learning. So what we always want to encourage is that you are going to get the most out of your student experience by expanding your horizons. Don't be afraid to take those chances and try something different. It's always going to feel a little bit weird as you go into this new environment, especially if it's not something you're familiar with or if this is your first time away from home. But you're going to grow significantly throughout your time studying abroad. And it is really exciting. It can be overwhelming, but there are always going to be supports in place to help you.
Exactly. Totally agree.
I think we can go next slide. Well, that's actually quite fitting. So I think to wrap it up here, we can talk a little bit about the tips to succeed abroad. So when you're choosing a university, it is the biggest decision that you're going to make on your own. The best advice that we can provide for you is to do your research. Know what you're getting into, what programs are offered, what services are available. Make a list of schools you can picture yourself being successful at, and then choose the one where you will be most comfortable. And when you're looking at that, we're talking about things in terms of proximity to home or to relatives, or, do they have that program that transitions to the higher studies that you want to do? Or is that internship opportunity going to be available for you? The good news is that while the choice of which school to attend is on you, we're here to help you the rest of the way. Once you're admitted, you will have access to services and resources to help you be successful no matter which university you choose. There is a list of just some examples of things that are available to you at institutions. But just remember, as a student, it is up to you to take advantage of the advisors, services, and resources that are available to you. And I really can admit that in my first year, I was maybe not the best at that. But as you get more comfortable in the university environment, you do learn to take advantage of these things and you become less afraid to ask questions. Daniel, do you have any additions?
Yeah, one thing I would say is whenever I give advice for who's the right profile or who has the right profile to do a degree abroad, it comes down to, I think, three things. One is you genuinely love and appreciate culture. Number two, you genuinely love and appreciate language and you want to learn another language. And number three, you definitely want to travel. If you meet all three, I highly recommend doing a degree abroad. And I think also, Europe as an example, you have so much accessibility to different countries and different cultures and languages. So that's something to consider. But definitely, no matter where you go, be open-minded. Um, Going abroad means you wanted to get outside of your comfort zone. And by going outside of your comfort zone, that's where you grow. That's where you learn the most about yourself. So push yourself, do something different, because these are going to be the best 3 to 5 years of your life. What is that going to look like to you? Is it going to Spain over the weekend? Is that going to the Alps? Is it going to Bali? Whatever your world looks like, what school is going to allow you to do that? Live your best life while you can.
Our both reps will be available to answer questions during their booth time. We'll look at a few of the questions and see if we have a minute to answer. Looks like everybody wants to travel, Daniel. So that's exciting. They're taking your advice
Solid.
already. Awesome. Well, it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of questions. Students, if you have registered for the fair, head back to the platform and you can talk directly with Daniel and with Victoria so that you can ask them questions, ask them about cost, ask them about programs. And since they've attended there, ask them about their favorite things. And then if you have not registered, if you're listening in on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube and you've not registered for the fair yet, go to the link, screenshot it, and go to the link and register for the fair so you too can benefit from talking to Daniel and Victoria and many other institutions. We really appreciate your time and insight, and we will see you back at your booth.
See you soon, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.